And welcome to Women of Power Next Door TV show. I'm your host, Deb Bailey. I'm excited that you're with me again today. We've got our good friend, Regina Radomski. Regina, welcome aboard.
Hi, how are you today?
Good. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Regina, I like to start out each show giving the guest of the day a little time to share with the watching audience a little bit about themselves. So, can you tell our watchers who you are and what you do?
Yes, I'm an adoptive mom of two older boys, actually, a mom of three boys, a biological son, and two older adopted children from Poland. And in that journey, I've become a life coach and an author.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, adoption is something that is very dear to our family as well. My aunt used to be a foster mom, and she would also adopt children. And I told my husband when our children got out of the house and quit coming back home after they got out, that I would like to adopt a child as well. So, do you have any maybe tips? What would the agency look for in adoptive? How do they start out in the adoption world?
The adoptive parents, how do they start out?
Yes.
Um, you'll start out by researching the countries that you would like to go to.
Mhm.
And as a family, you want to, as a husband and wife, I should say, or a family, you would look at what fits into your family. Would you be okay with a difference in race? Um, or do you need the same type of race? Do you want to be Caucasian and Caucasian or black and white? Either way, it doesn't matter, but whatever you're comfortable with. You also have to look at, are you comfortable with a special needs child? You have to
Mm.
really search your heart for these answers, because once you make the decision and you find the agency, they're going to ask you these questions. So it's better to
Oh,
know in advance, um, and just start your research online through people that you know. We actually found our agency through the Human Resources Department at my husband's.
oh, well, very good. That's exciting. How long does the process usually take from the time that you start working with the adoption agency until a child is actually placed into your home?
It varies. It varies on the country. It varies on the paperwork. When we started, it was about a year and a half from the
Mm,
time that we found our child.
okay,
Um, and our children, I should say, I'm sorry. But about a year and a half to 2 years probably is the right amount of time.
good, good. Was there a lot of paperwork? What should people expect in the paperwork process?
You will have to do paperwork for the agency asking you those questions of what are you up for taking in? Do you want a child who is special needs or not? They will ask you information about your family. You will have fingerprinting happening. You will have a numerous amount of forms. You'll be in touch with the country once you decide. That actually is done by the agency themselves,
Hmm.
but you have to give them the information.
Okay.
So I would say it's about 6 months to 8 months of paperwork,
Wow.
and in intervals. It's a long process.
Okay. Okay. Um, Once you are in touch with the country or the agency is in touch with the country, then you get to visit that country to meet children that are ready for adoption. Is that correct?
Yes, but it's after you've approved the children that they send to you. They will send you a portfolio,
Oh.
or online. They can also send you just information with the pictures of the children and
Oh.
give you a background. And then you have time to ask questions to the orphanage or the foster home. In our case, we did. And from there, then once you make your decision,
Mhm.
then they'll be in the person you're working with will be in touch with the country in order to get everything moving.
I see. I see. I know that you adopted boys that were already a certain age. They weren't babies. I know a lot of people want brand new babies that come along. How hard is it to get a young child that is not a baby or even a teenager? How hard are those to place? And why did you pick an older child?
Actually, it's easier to get older children because they're more readily available, unfortunately. Everybody wants babies, as you said. So the older children and the sibling groups are the easier ones to get.
Okay.
We already had a 9-year-old child, so it worked out well for us. We wanted to keep the birth order. And at one point, they had given us an opportunity to adopt two older boys that were older than my son. And the social worker suggested not to do that. She did not feel it was right for the birth order.
Hmm.
So we had to say no. And then within a few weeks, we were introduced to our sons. And they were 2 years younger than our son consecutively. So it worked out. They were 9, 7, and 5
Mm.
when they came to us. And that was our new family. And they were very well matched in that way because he now had children that he was able to play with right
Right.
away.
Right. So in essence, the social worker wanted to make sure that your biological son was the oldest.
Yes,
Is that what you're saying? Okay. Very
yes,
good. Very good. Now, were you able to adopt two children at a time then?
yes.
Okay.
It
Oh,
was
I
a
didn't know you could
sibling
do that.
group. It was two biological brothers.
Oh, very good. Very good. I thought you had to do it one at a time. Can you adopt more than two at a time, or is there a limit?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
It was whatever number of children you wanted. That's what they would look for at the time. We just
Oh.
figured if we were doing it, let's do it all at once and save a family versus coming home and then never having the time to do it again.
Oh, very good. So the two boys that you adopted were biological brothers.
Yes,
Oh, okay. And you adopted from Poland, correct?
yes.
Because of your heritage and your culture and your
My husband's
background?
heritage. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, very good, very good. Did you find that going outside of the United States to a different country would have been easier for you to adopt? And uh, recommend that for others to do as well, or do you think staying in the states, or it just depends on each family?
It depends on each family. My situation was I had just had a father who was dying in my house for 8 months, and then he died. And I had been burned very badly, and we had
Mm,
lost about 6 people in a row.
mm,
And I knew that with DIFUS in New Jersey, that and with adoption in New Jersey and in the states, I should say, the mother has a right to then take the child back after a certain amount of time. And
oh,
I didn't have the energy to go through that.
oh my goodness, how that's wow. That would be a shocker. Very good.
Yes.
Well, I know you've written a book about your experience and stuff. Can you share with the watching audience what the name of that is?
Yes, it's called From Half to Whole, and it's our journey, our adoption journey.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Regina, we're at the end of our show here, and I want to make sure that everybody knows where they can go and buy your book and learn more about you, and that you do workshops in New Jersey as well. Where can people go and find all that information out about you?
My website is reginaradomski.com. I'm on Facebook as Fill in the Blanks, FILLIN apostrophe THEBLANKS. And my toll free number is 855 949 3455.
Wonderful, wonderful. And real quick about your workshops, it's just right there in New Jersey in your community, and it's open to anyone.
Yes, my workshops are 1 hour or 3 hours
Okay.
to get a feel for the backgrounds of both parents so that they can look at family traditions and come up with a solution before the children come on how they want to work that into the family when they adopt. And then
Wonderful.
I have a 6 month and a 1 year program that I'm working on right now to help the client go through the pre, post, and adoptive after adoption setup.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Regina, thank you so much for sharing a glimpse into the adoption world with my audience today.
I was pleased to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies, it's been another episode of Women of Power Next Door TV show. Be sure to watch us next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.